Perplexity has snagged a big deal with upcoming Motorola Razr phones. If you are not young enough to recall Razrs.
Razr? They still make Razrs?
Yes, apparently they brought them back. They're little folding flip phones with a screen on the front. And there's the new Razr Plus, and Razr Ultras, which launched on May 15th, will come with Perplexity pre-installed. Now, the context here is that Google's currently in a lot of trouble for having blanket, essentially monopolies on people having search in their apps on their phones if it's Android. So good for Perplexity. My question for Jason is pretty simple here. Are they doing too many non-core things as a company? So I feel like Perplexity is always in the news, and it feels frantic to me. But I'm curious if I'm just being too conservative about how companies should approach partnerships if they can get major ones.
So they seem to be very partnership savvy. I notice a lot of times you get a free year to Perplexity. So like, I don't know if it's like podcasts or other software companies that are really into bundling and trying to tap into other audiences and quickly get people into the subscription funnel. When you get a year free of something, in order to get the year free, I think you have to put your credit card in and you get billed in month 13 kind of thing. I don't know exactly how they do it, but when you do that, you can then count paid subscribers. So your paid subscribers can go up even though they're on a trial if you have their credit card, but and then you're expecting a certain amount of churn. So you got to be careful with that. I don't know if they're doing that, but I have seen that startups do that kind of there is a tactic.
There is a deal. You get Perplexity for a free year if you are signed up to Comcast Xfinity cable and streaming TV platform.
So I don't know if you have to put your credit card in to get it for free. You might have to do that. Who knows?
Right, you have to be an Xfinity customer, so you would have to give them your credit card.
So then maybe they're giving Xfinity half of the money in year 2 if you do it. So
probably something like that.
These kind of commission-based deals are very popular with credit cards. If you get somebody a credit card, you can make, I don't know, $50 to $200. If you get them to open a brokerage account and put a deposit in, you can get like $300. That's why a lot of you'll see, like if you have Sirius XM or you have Hulu or YouTube TV, when they have like house ads that they run over and over again, it might be for E-Trade or something because E-Trade pays them a little bit of money, but then gives them a spiff. So there's an incentive for them to just run the ad in any empty slots they have. But Perplexity seems pretty good at these deals. I do think Perplexity is going to have a differentiation issue. You start to see people get into the habit of ChatGPT, Grok when they're in Twitter, Facebook's, AI when you're in those things. It's, standing up and getting 100 million, 200, 300 million people to pay for a product that other people are giving away for free. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. And there's been plenty of paid search engines that people have tried to take the ads out and give you a paid search engine. About 5 to 25% of consumers, depending on the category, like to pay for stuff. Most people like it ad-based. So it's just going to be challenging, but I give them a lot of credit. So interest in ChatGPT over time versus Perplexity. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of unfair.
Yeah.
ChatGPT is such a juggernaut. I might do a better one would be like everything but ChatGPT. So if you did Perplexity, Claude, Grok, and Gemini AI or Gemini, it might be interesting to see this.
As a sort of lay person in the AI world, it really feels like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Grok are way more visible. And then there's a ton of other companies, and I mean, Claude is like interacting with a lot of applications and like other kinds of
that seems to be their sweet spot, Claude.
Right, but like by far, those three are like the most prominent, and then everybody else I feel like is in a whole level
Claude
below.
Is such a good product, though. I mean, I use Claude all the time.
Right, and Claude is interacting with so many other startups and so many other products that I feel like that kind of is the
so this is interesting. We're looking here at Perplexity, Gemini, Grok spiking there, and it looks like Gemini. And Gemini might include other Geminis, like there's a Gemini Trust or something like that. So that's a hard one to parse if we're talking about the actual Gemini, but
it's also a star sign, right?
Yeah, people are looking up their horoscopes. Yeah,
there might be some baked in interest there if they're using a generic name.